We're calling this meeting to order. We're returning from executive session where the board discussed the superintendent's mid-year evaluation. Could everyone please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, so a couple of announcements. First, welcome back. Happy New Year, everyone. First board meeting in 2024. Tonight, we do have 3 board members that could not be here. They are Stacy Flom, Deanna Stevenson, and Petra Holden. Can I have a motion to adopt tonight's agenda? First is Gusta, second is Tom. All in favor? It is 4 in favor. Thank you. And now we're going to move into our Board of Education comments, starting with Gusta.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Happy New Year. I have my mic on. My mic is on. Okay. Happy New Year. Welcome back. Wishing everybody a great year and continuing all the good work that we do. My mic is not working, but that's okay.
Can you tap it?
It's red. It's dead.
Oh, it's red. Okay. So it may not be charged.
Say that again.
Yes. Tom?
Happy New Year, everyone. Just wanted to very briefly mention that the Counseling Advisory Committee met this morning, and under the terrific leadership of Matt Davis, we reviewed some data around involvement and engagement for K-12 students in terms of like extracurricular activities, clubs, sports, etc., and really how integral that involvement, that engagement is in terms of success, in terms of graduation, in fact. And we are brainstorming and moving in a direction to increase engagement at all levels. And I'm very impressed with Matt and the whole team. Yeah, it was a good meeting.
Thank you. Jackson?
So happy New Year, everybody. Today, believe it or not, is Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
Oh.
So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to our SROs here at Shen. They do a wonderful job.
They're hiding behind the corner.
I know Guana had held events today and Chango did in the past, so great job. Happy Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
Yes, thank you for sharing. Jason?
Just Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
short and sweet.
Short and sweet, and I promise we're going to do our best to keep things short and sweet, knowing that the weather's not cooperating tonight. But I first want to also make a shout out to Jackson. He just received his, I know it's not shout out time, not Jason, Jackson. He just received the Honor Legal Scout, and congratulations. That is quite a feat. I know that it's a very small percentage of our population that's able to achieve that, so congratulations. I also want to remind the board that the Shen Color Guard, their live show is coming, it's fast approaching, it's on the 20th. It's from 5:30 to 8:30 in High School East on the 30th, on the 20th. And with that, I'm going to move into our public session, our public comment session. This is a business meeting, so we do have an opportunity for the public to come up and speak. But before I read that long statement, I just want to look out there to see if there's anyone here planning to speak. Because if not,
yes, we have one person.
We have one person. Okay, fantastic. So I do need to read the statement.
He's one of my employees, by the way.
Yes, I do recognize him.
Just maybe an abbreviated statement.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess I can make an abbreviated statement. So, and the statement is on the agenda, that there's an opportunity for members of our community to present to our board, and then we just ask that you keep your comments succinct and to 2 to 3 minutes in an effort to ensure that the widest number of viewpoints are heard. And for the public, for those that are not here that do wish to send the board questions or comments, you can email our boe@shenschools.org address, and they will come into our public information office, and they will be distributed either to myself, the board president, if it's policy related, or if it's administrative or operational related, it'll be sent to our superintendent. So without further delay, please. Actually, Glennis is going to speak first, sorry. Our student will speak first and then come on up. Okay, sorry about that.
Hello.
Is this on?
I think it is.
I think it is, okay. So,
Oh, it is on.
yeah, so on January 29th, students from Senate and Rho Kappa will visit the state capitol to attend a conference with Senator Tedesco regarding free lunches for high school students.
Oh, that is exciting.
That is exciting.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. So please.
Is that better? Getting people here?
Yes.
Madam President, ladies and gentlemen of the board, Dr. Robinson, friends and colleagues. An introduction is in order. I am Mark Sipkins, resident of Walsh Lane and in the district since 1978. I'm also systems analyst in the IMS department and have been for about 25 years. Tonight, I would just like to take a minute or so to highlight the retirement of Laura Hinman, lead technologist on page 7 of today's staffing report after 22 years with Shenendehowa. While she was retiring as a lead technologist with Information Management Services, Laura was for many years a computer lab aide in Acadian Middle Schools. Given that, I spoke to Acadia principal John Burns, and after good-naturedly poking at me and IMS for taking her away from his school, I think we negotiated the title of IMS in his mind down to that of IMS Pit of Vipers. And this is the essence of what he said, with true appreciation for being asked and with genuine sincerity. Laura was a valued member of Acadia in ways that went beyond her technical expertise. It brought genuine value to the Acadia community and specifically to the students in so many ways. Well put, John. Thank you. I'm not going to try and top that and simply wish to second that sentiment as it applies to IMS as well. She and a handful of computer lab aides who have been and are still with us are true credits to themselves and the organization. I had always wished Laura had joined IMS sooner, and today I get to wish her well and share John's feelings of loss and fortune for having her with us. Laura, and I believe many, are wishing you well in your future endeavors. And as I have said for Lisa Doyne almost 2 years to the month, you earned it. Members of the board, Dr. Robinson, and to all assembled, thank you for the opportunity and the time to publicly acknowledge Laura before all who would hear.
Thank you, Mr. Sipkins. That was really lovely.
Yes.
So with no further individuals approaching the podium, we will close public comment and we will move into the superintendent's report.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Hoffman, and Happy New Year to everyone as well. And I missed the last board meeting of the new year, and I was pleased to sit at home and watch it from a distance, the first time actually watching the board meeting live stream, and so kudos to the technical folks, Ken and others who make sure that the viewing audience actually get to experience the board meeting in a very real way. So that was nice to be able to see that from the other side. And kudos to Dr. Cecily Wilson-Turner who stepped in almost to the point where I'm thinking, boy, can she make a mistake so they can miss me? So she was flawless, and I really appreciate it. I think it's I say that, yes, a compliment to her, and it's also for the system that we have people who step in and step up as needed, and I think you'll see that tonight when we get into some of the presentations in terms of different people taking on some major roles, leading a lot of great initiatives on behalf of the school district, which therefore makes the 2024 school year even more promising, knowing that we have a lot of people who say, send me, I'll go, without question. So it's great to do so. Just a couple of things, and actually, well, I'll do a little later when we do the state recap. That's probably the big news today, so I'll wait till later on once we get to that information item. After we do the tenure recommendation, I'll offer some additional comments.
Okay.
But again, Happy New Year. It's great to see all of you again.
Thank you. All right, Mrs. Galia, to do the tenure recommendation. And are we going to vote?
Yes, it's on the
yeah.
one. We should.
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate
Absolutely.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. We have one tenure recommendation, that is for Nathan Chin, who is with us tonight. He is a health teacher in High School East, and he is being recommended by Rose Barra and Becky Carmen.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So with that, can I have a motion to approve the tenure recommendation for Mr. Chen? First is Tom, second is Gusta. Any comments? And congratulations, and please come up so we can shake your hand. All in favor?
Okay, yes.
Yes.
Nice job, Nate.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Dr. Robinson.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So, hold on, Nate, she wants to take a good picture, you gotta.
Oh, sorry.
You're moving really fast.
So Jason, wanna come over?
Yes.
Hey, it's all four of us.
Yeah, there's four of us.
Let it be special tonight, that's right.
We're usually trying to get out of
That's
pictures.
right.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah, trying to get out of pictures, right? Who said we were appropriately dressed for pictures? For the board
Right.
meeting?
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Want me to pick up?
Yes, absolutely.
Congratulations, Nate. Nate has been a tremendous asset since being not only as a teacher, but stepped in the wrestling program and doing a lot of neat stuff. He's on our diversity committee. Really has invested in the life of the school community. It's exactly what we want, particularly from some of our young teachers to come in and just quite frankly to jump in. And so appreciate you, Nate. Thank you. Congratulations on that. Well received. So as I mentioned before, we have a couple presentations. I'm just going to go out of order real quick before Erica comes up. Just want to address the state of the state recap briefly because it's interesting. The governor had a state of the state address today at 1 o'clock, which I watched along with Dr. Wilson Turner, trying to figure out some sense of where the state's going. What are some of the big rocks? What are some of the things that we could try to predict, particularly from a budget standpoint of it? There's a 180-page booklet, if you want to call it booklet, that goes with the message that there's a lot of people who are much more politically savvy than me that will read that and analyze every detail of it, and I just get the Cliff Notes version of it. But four things that was interesting that was highlighted for specific to education that I think we're going to watch closely as this thing manifests itself. So constitutionally, by the 16th, the governor has to come out with budget recommendations. Everyone is anticipating that's going to be some point early next week. But certainly by the 16th of January, we'll have more details. And that's where we really start to see what does that mean financially for some of the things. There's some interesting pieces, and for instance, there's a lot of talk, not only in New York, but across the country, around the science of reading, phonemic awareness, and trying to teach phonemic awareness across in schools. And here at Shen, we've been doing this for quite some time and have been heavily invested in it. So we're pleased to see that the state is aligning with some of the things that we're talking about. The fear I have is let's not legislate certain things. What does that mean when you legislate what you teach in schools? It's a whole different conversation. But we hope comes with that, though, some resources so we can not only go deeper, but we can certainly sustain our efforts over time. So we're looking forward to see what does that mean from a budgetary perspective related to science of reading and training of teachers and things of that nature. Even some micro-credentialing of teachers. So what does that mean, again, from a higher ed perspective and our capacity to hire teachers who are much more schooled in a particular area. So we're looking forward to that. A lot of conversations surrounding mental health for children and youth. And certainly here, this board has been strong advocates for mental health related initiatives. So we're looking forward to seeing what does that mean. Particular access to mental health services, beds, services for kids, when we have situations where families can't get support. And so we're looking forward to see what does that mean, right? Because we try to do as much as we can within our school system, within our windows of quote unquote 7 to 5. However, we know that those issues go beyond the course of the school day. So we're looking to see what does that mean and what some opportunities for us. So again, this one we're going to watch very closely as we move forward. The interesting one, which I recognize in being one of those fathers who are paying and they've been paying for the last 6 years, high-priced college tuition. The trying to look the FAFSA, the federal student aid piece of it, and I think unfortunately there are a lot of folks who find the process a little bit frustrating, intimidating, and otherwise, and so trying to figure out how can they streamline that for schools, and so see what does that mean for us as we move forward as well. something that we have been, and the board heard from, a presentation from Matt Davis and some other folks a couple weeks ago about credentializing courses, and certainly trying to get kids as many college credits while they're in school. And now, moving towards, part of this recommendation, at least from the governor's proposal, is automatic SUNY and CUNY admissions for high achieving students, which is great. I mean, the SUNY system is a great system, and unfortunately, like a lot of college systems, they're struggling with enrollments. So hopefully some of this will get some of our best minds to stay within the state and stay within the state system. So hopefully that will certainly stimulate that type of enrollment growth for our students. Interesting one, which I hope that we can retroactively get some money out of this. Support for cooling in schools. I didn't realize that I thought Shem was the only place that people complain about the one week of hot weather in the month of June. That's when we have the 1 week of summer. And however, there's some funding proposed surrounding that. So it's an interesting piece. Recognizing, yes, we need to have environments that kids are not uncomfortable in for learning. So I understand the premise behind it. So looking forward to what does that mean in terms of potential financing. And the one last piece of it is something that we're working on now ahead of the curve. It's something that came into law, the workforce violence piece that again came up, and it's on the books right now. And we've had policies go to policy review and regulations for review, and we're working on some committees. So not a lot of new substance, if you will, in the state of the state. And the piece that we're all waiting to see is what does the financial pieces look like, because last year we fully funded of foundation aid. What does next year look like for funding? So needless to say, next week there'll be a close eye on the budget recommendation, the actual numbers, and see how those things translate as we move forward. So that's the budget piece, and I'm going to recap real quick too. I also shared with the board, and you have in front of you, an advocacy document that we put together. As you know, that we'll be meeting with our state legislators pretty soon here in February. And one of the things that we tried to highlight are some big rocks, if you will, in terms of just want to make this a little bit bigger so people see it from here. So 4 areas that we have focused on for our advocacy efforts are looking at. So Kel, I'm not sure why this is.
Drag it up.
Oh, this way, okay. So the 4 areas we've been talking about is how do we strategically prepare students for emerging opportunities. Some of the untenable mandates that's right now in the books that we have to try to figure out. Removing barriers that making employment a little bit more challenging. And then some of the same things we're talking about, sustainability of funds for programs. So this document is a little bit hard to read. There's a lot of content to it. But for instance, when we're looking about removing barriers, we're talking about the challenges that we face right now with transportation, trying to get transportation personnel. It's tremendously difficult. There's a federal component to it, and there's a state component to it. So hopefully that will be something that at least the state components, the state will look at a little bit differently. Civil service is a big piece of the service system needs to be modernized. I think everyone is saying it. The question is where are we going to start doing it? And so I think across the board, not just across the board, legislatively, statewide, everyone's saying that something needs to be done differently with that system as we move forward. So we're trying to advocate for some targeted changes. Teacher certification is one of those areas that, again, we have some shortage areas, and trying to make sure the state education department actually has the funding to expedite the plan that's in place right now. There's a pretty comprehensive plan that the state education department has, but it's always a funding issue in terms of how long will that take to roll out. It takes 5 years to turn certification. 5 years you may have different needs, and so there's always an issue surrounding some of those kind of things. Sustainability of quality programs for students. As we know, that's a big part of, that's the core of our business. And so a big part of that too is how do we look at things such as the fund, as I'm saying right now, the foundation aid. Will there be a minimum 3% adjustment? That's something to see. That's where the devil's going to be the detail from the state budget piece of it. Pre-K funding. There's a lot of money on the table. However, the amount is so restrictive that we can't get providers to take the money. It's simply not enough money per pupil. And so looking at the legislature, say, look at that, because I don't think that's an issue of money. It's an issue of how much money are we allowed to spend to providers. And so we're really trying to advocate for some shifts related to pre-K. And then we have some mandates that's been on the books for a while, the e-buses. As a school system, we're making a lot of progress with that. We have some mobile chargers. We have 4 buses on order to come some point between now and next school year. So we're making some progress. However, the deadline of 2027 is coming fast and furious, and yet we still don't have, because it's a solution that we can't bring about, is the power issue, the ability to charge buses. And so statewide, the state has to figure out what's the power capacity, how to generate more power across the state to do some of these things. And so we're watching that, and we want to have some conversation. What does 2027 look like if we don't have the capacity effectively to do what's mandated? And certainly 2035 is the kind of drop dead deadline. So while these things may seem far out there, 10 years is not a long time in the scheme of infrastructure and some major infrastructure shifts. So we certainly want to keep that on the agenda. And something that we put on the agenda too, that's been there for a while, a lot of conversations around the evaluation laws, the APPR laws, and there's a lot of proposal out there to modify that. Right now, it's very time consuming. It consumes a lot of time, and the question is, people start saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? For the amount of time that you put in the process, can we get the same end result without putting the same amount of time in the process? Not only administrative time, teacher time, it's a lot of time, very time consuming process. And so it's not about not wanting an effective evaluation system, it's about having an effective evaluation system that the juice is literally worth the squeeze. The amount of time to get to the end result is effective. So trying to advocate some things around the APPR piece, and this is the time to do it because there's a lot of changes happening in education. And ironically, the governor is talking about the science of reading and some very specific things related to education. So maybe it's a time for us to also look at the process that we use to evaluate our educators, teachers, and principals alike. So that's one we really want to try to make sure that stays on the radar screen. And then the last piece, we talk about strategic preparedness for students for emerging. And again, we've been doing a lot of work here. That's why I'm pleased to hear about things like the CUNY and the SUNY pieces, where the state is saying, yeah, we want to make sure we keep the best and the brightest minds in the state of New York. And certainly we want to look at funding for CTE type programs. As a school system, we're really making a lot of inroads on trying to really expand some of those opportunities for our kids to, again, bolster the workforce in New York State. Some language around special education right now needs to be cleaned up. The federal language and the state language around how long a young person should stay in school for us under certain special education provisions, there's a disconnect. The state has 21, the feds has 22, but funding goes with that year difference. And so how do they align that and make sure that the funding aligns accordingly as we move forward? So not a lot of major things in per se, but all these things add up to some could potentially add up to much more seamless operations of our school and sustainability of fundings and programs over time. So I'm sharing that like a brief, quick overview with the board now. I left a copy of it with each of you there. If you take a read, if you see some specific thoughts, ideas, share, because what I would like to be able to do is clean this up, add to it, do otherwise. So when we meet with our legislative folks in February, we have a document. Hopefully we try to keep it within the 4-page piece of it, please. So don't add a dissertation to it, because we try to keep it simple, stupid when we meet with our legislative folks. And so we want to have a nice document. Kudos to Kelly Barkley for putting this together in this format, so we can leave them with something that's colorful and something that's concise and something to the point, and more important, something that hits the major priorities that, as a system, there are many things you can advocate for. The question is, who's the best to advocate for certain things, and which of those things are best for us, Shen, as a school system in particular. So again, just a recap. So if you have some thoughts, please drop me an email, and we try to capture those things.
Did the governor have anything to add regarding the bus mandate?
No, there was nothing
There was
said
nothing
about
for that. Okay, interesting. So yes, our visit's on the 26th. So it's on the calendar. And he shared it with all of the board members, and it's for all 3 of the same day, correct?
I think so. We try to maximize that time, correct?
So don't wait till then to give feedback.
No, I'm hopefully like feedback like within the next couple of days here.
The next couple of days, the next couple of weeks.
No, because if you sit on it too long, you're gonna forget about it.
All right.
or they'd be scrambling last minute to throw something together. So while it's fresh in your mind,
Okay,
share some thoughts if you don't mind.
that sounds good.
All right, so let me switch back. My apologies to Dr. Wilson Turner and Erica. I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Wilson Turner to go through the kindergarten program planning ad hoc committee update.
Thank you. Good evening. So it has been my pleasure to join on this journey to create a fabulous learning experience for our youngest learners here at Shen. It's an exciting time to have joined the district and to be added to the ad hoc committee. It's been a really good experience that has allowed me to see the district vision and goals in action. Specifically, we're focused on creating the school and classroom experience for kindergartners, which is very obvious. But what may be less obvious is the background work that is happening around ensuring that we're creating a successful culture and climate and structure that supports that for our students for their social emotional learning as well as their academic learning, focused on professional practice and what our teachers and other staff members will need to run a full day kindergarten program. And in the back of our mind, while we're dreaming big of all the things that we want for our students and not being confined where we currently exist, we're also balancing our fiscal responsibility. So it's been a very good exercise for me personally and professionally to go through this process. And I have had the pleasure of partnering with Erica, who started this work with Dr. Wood prior to my arrival, and getting up to speed on the work on the ad hoc committee, and really to begin to shift the focus to our Shen learning framework, and that's the curriculum instruction and program measurements that we will utilize for our kindergarten program. And so Erica will take you through this evening our work to date.
Thank you.
So this was
I'll
a
click if you need
point
me
of
to.
conversation. He usually clicks, but I don't know what happened. So, good evening, everyone. First, I just want to say that this has been an incredible privilege to work on this special project, probably a once-in-a-career type project, and I'm really appreciative of this opportunity. The Kindergarten Program Planning Ad Hoc Committee is made up of teachers, administrators, Board of Education members, and parents. The diverse perspectives that each member brings to the table allows us to consider unique insights and innovative ideas. Our meetings have been enlightening and very productive, and I sincerely appreciate each member's contribution, and you see their names listed here. So the committee has been charged with designing a full-day kindergarten program, and this involves considering instructional resources, professional development, transportation, and scheduling, just to name a few things. And we're focused on creating a program that combines a holistic approach to child development with thoughtful curriculum design, effective teaching strategies, a focus on play-based learning, and creating a supportive community for students, staff, and families. So this committee reviewed site plans for 5 Maxwell, offering feedback on the overall theme of the building, including some design features. And our first task has been to develop a sample schedule for a full-day kindergarten program. So the committee was presented with sample schedules from neighboring school districts that they provided feedback on. And then this feedback was used to create a draft schedule. And academic administrators prepared a document that outlined suggested instructional minutes for the core academic areas. And both documents were presented to this committee. At this point, Dr. Wilson Turner and I are refining that schedule based on the feedback to present at our next meeting, which will be held on January 31st. So this slide kind of shows you some of our next steps here. The committee plans to continue to meet regularly to work on these tasks, but the first task obviously is creating kind of a draft sample schedule. So I kept this brief because, truth be told, Shadakon's winter concert started just now, but don't worry, Frank Roselli is over there introducing them, so I'm gonna try to get over to them. But I just wanna close with, I've been incredibly inspired and motivated by the time and consideration that so many people are putting into this work. I believe that we are building an extraordinary space that will provide an exceptional full-day kindergarten program for the students and families in our school district. So I really appreciate the opportunity and your time.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you. And I'm sorry I have.
Definitely get it.
So, thank you very much, Eric, and thank you much, Cecily, for taking the lead and jumping right into that as well. And the last information item, again, if there are questions from the board, I share with the board that the State Education Department, and this actually goes back to several years back, under former Commissioner Mills, God bless his soul, where the state started looking at different logos related to Native Americans. So back in, I think it was 2000, I think I have something here. 01, but I think it's like maybe like 04 or 05, I saw 05. So 05, 06 school year, we made some adjustments to the logo and some things of that nature. And we did a lot of things at that point. The state was satisfied with the progress that we made. And most recently, there's been an addendum to that particular regulation, Part 123. And again, looking at some of those kind of things, and one component of the mascot we have has a Native American headdress, and there's some removal of that piece of it. So we've been back and forth with the state education folks, recognizing that all these things will take time as we transition into the future years, and they're certainly in agreement with their approach. And so this resolution tonight is essentially the last piece of it, saying that moving forward, we move forward with the logo absent the headdress component of it. And I just want to emphasize a point, ironically, and I do it all the time, I do it deliberately now. Whenever I travel, I wear something Shen because I want to see how long it's going to take before someone in some miscellaneous airport say, hey, I know someone from there. Because the Shen brand is truly our brand. And I really want to emphasize that. And I think over the last, or certainly I can say over the last 18 and a half years, we've really done a lot of things, we adults, students alike, to make the Shen brand known. And so certainly this doesn't minimize that at all. And so we'll move forward with our process over the course of the coming weeks, months, and years. So tonight is that resolution for the board later on to act on as we get into the agenda as we move forward. So we're as a school district, I'll just emphasize this point for people who don't know, Shenendehowa as a word is Great Plains. All elementary schools are Native American names. And so I guess we didn't get too creative because we called the high school East and High School West. Somehow we ran out of names for that, but it's fine. So I share that in a way to say that there's a tremendous homage that's paid to those who traveled the lands before and we have to pay attributes for that, and we have done that as a school district in many, many wonderful ways over time, and we'll continue to do that as we move forward. So I respectfully ask the board to later on the agenda to approve that resolution, and we'll move forward.
Thank you. Any questions?
Dr. Robinson, could you just speak to the fact that the stallion is, can you just?
We're not the stallions.
Well, right.
Exactly. So that's the only way I can say that.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I think the only time I've heard that, and we were down, my son was in high school, so it's 2014. They made the national 7-on-7 championships in Hoover, Alabama, and the commentator first insulted us, said, "Wow, these kids don't pass the eye test." Who are the Shenendehowa? Who are those stallion kids? And that's the only time I ever heard anyone refer to that as that. So we were insulted and motivated us, and we actually beat the best team that year because that's our best game. We were motivated, we were all pissed off, and they won the game. And so now they know who Shen is, even in Hoover, Alabama. And the reason why Hoover, Alabama is important, that's where Alabama Crimson Tides, that's the high school that's in that community. And so I say that because sometimes people make misconception, and I think that if you ask any young person here, and you're going to say, we are Shen, that's who we are. And I think that's the moniker that we proudly bear and carries very loudly wherever we go, and not embarrassed to say we're Shen.
So the green horse is going to stay?
Yeah. I mean, because everybody wants to dress up in a really hot suit in those cold days.
Maybe they'll have a cool
Without a headdress on. Correct. Correct. The green horse, correct.
And they're still going to be the Plainsmen?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
So again, I humbly respectfully ask the board later on to approve that on the agenda as we get down. So otherwise, that's, and I guess I could be back at Carmen. Mrs. Carmen is not here, and so if there are questions related to first reading, I'd be more than happy to address those questions from the board.
Any questions? No? Our next policy review meeting is on the 7th of February, so we just had one a couple days ago. We really jumped right into the new year.
Yeah.
It's very, very busy. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the consent items, unless there's anything else. Okay, the first item up is the treasurer's report. Can I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report for the month ending November 2023? First is Gusta, second is Tom. Any comments? All in favor? It is 4 in favor. Thank you. For the minutes, we actually need to skip the December 5th minutes. We need to move them to the next meeting because we won't have a quorum for approving them. So I'm going to move to the December 19th minutes because we were all present for that meeting. So for the minutes, can I have a motion to approve the December 19th, 2023 minutes?
Just real fast, I thought people could vote.
No,
even though-
well, it's, you know what, if you want to vote, then we can,
Yeah.
but you were the one that was missing, so if you, to
I was
abstain, we have to have 4 yeses,
Yeah, I think we can.
okay, because even if with missing members, we still have to have a majority. So it's your call.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no, that's right, yes. So it's up to you.
Yeah.
In the
You
past,
can vote.
so the reason why we were skipping the December 5th minutes is because you
Oh,
were
'cause of
not
me.
here.
Oh, yeah, I was here for the beginning and then I left, right?
Right,
Can I vote?
Yes.
you
So
can.
sure, why not?
Yeah, it's just the
Alright.
practice has been that people
Early
want to
enough.
abstain.
Let's do it.
So then we can vote and we'll be done with
You
it.
combine
Okay?
both them?
Combine them.
Yes, we're gonna combine them both then. So can I have a motion to approve the December
I'm voting.
5th
So moved.
and the December 19th minutes? Jason is first, Tom is second, all in favor, it's gotta be 4. 4 it is, thank you very much.
Well, wouldn't it be funny if I
Thank you for asking.
I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, back to the business items. Okay. So the first item up, as we just heard from Dr. Robinson, is the approval of the school logo resolution. Can I have a motion to approve the school logo resolution for the State Education Department? First is Tom, second is Jason. All in favor? Any comments? All in favor? It is 4 in favor. Thank you. The next item up is, number 2 is iPad. Can I have approval to approve the iPad courses? These were presented at the December 19th meeting by Dr. Wilson Turner and also by Mr. Matt Davis. So first is Gusta, second is Tom. Any comments other than yay, they're awesome? All in favor? It is 4 in favor. Thank you very much. Number 3. I have to check because I know there was a small change earlier. Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the 3 bids for classroom and office supplies, mobile EV chargers, and the diesel fuel and unleaded gasoline? First is Tom, second is Gusta. I do have one comment, and that is the EV chargers are for the to comply with the mandate, so that everyone knows. Does it? Anybody else have a comment? No? All in favor? It is 4 in favor. The motion passes. Thank you. Number 4, can I have a motion to approve the contract addendum with the captain for additional community human services? This is actually for Octave. Correct, Dr. Robinson?
Correct.
Yes, thank you. First is Gusta, second is Tom. Any comments? All in favor? It is 4 in favor. The motion passes. Thank you. Number 5, can I have a motion to renew the contract, to approve the renewal of the contract with First Light, and this is for IMS? I need a motion. First is Gusta, second is Tom. Any comments? All in favor? It is 4 in favor. The motion passes. Number 6, can I have a motion to approve the establishment of the scholarship funds and acceptance of donations? This is for Rodham Adamic, am I pronouncing it? Adamic. Yes, he is a retired monitor of the Shenendehowa Central School District and cherished his time working with the district. I can read more. This is actually, I'll read it in my comments. But I have a motion. First is Tom, second is Gusta. And then what I'll add is that this is for Acadia, and these for 2 $1,000 scholarships for graduating seniors from Acadia Middle School.
It's lovely.
This is
Really.
and specifically for the culinary arts, restaurant management, and a career in hospitality and industry.
It's so nice.
Mhm.
It is very nice. So with gratitude.
Mhm.
All in favor? It is 4 in favor, the motion passes. Thank you. Number 7, can I have a motion to approve the NARIC quote? First is Jason, second is Tom. Any comments or questions? We typically have these, I know it's a very brief statement, but it's something that, as far as the services that we need in the district. All in favor? It is 4, the motion passes. Thank you. Now, some of these donations have been separated. There are 3 donations tonight. The next one, number 8, is, this is actually the typical one that we get as far as donations made from the community. Can I have a motion to approve the scholarships and local donations as listed above? First is Gusta, second is Jason. Any comments? With appreciation, all in favor? It is 4 in favor and the motion passes. Actually, for the, could you comment on the one for birch bottle packaging? Dr. Robinson, what is that one for?
So the adult transition program, they typically take field trips. So this is the company's donating funds, and typically that's what it goes. It's pretty neat experience. We try to give kids great experience, even when they're officially not on the Shen campus. So it's great experience for those young people.
Absolutely. Thank you. Item number 9, can I have a motion to approve the tax settlement? And this is for Casco Hospitality. First is Gusta, second is Tom. Any comments or questions? All in favor? It is 4, it is unanimous, the motion passes. Item number 10, this is another very special donation. Can I have a motion to accept the donation of a Haas CNC lathe machine from Regeneron for the High School East Technology Department? Yes. First is Gusta, second is Tom. Any comments? Again, with appreciation. In the write-up, they talk about how this is for the CTE program to promote manufacturing, those who are working in that field. So very generous donation, certainly appreciated.
Hey, can I just make one quick comment? Since she's here,
Yes.
I want to say kudos to Rose Barra, who has been the person that's shepherded this whole thing for almost a year, because we went from hearing something, not hearing something, to all of a sudden it's here, and now we're working through the process of making sure we get it powered up and used by kids. So it's a pretty, it's a great opportunity.
Thank you, Mrs. Barrow. All in favor? It is 4 in favor and the motion passes. So now we're going to move into our acceptance of special education placements, Mrs. Mylon.
Good evening, all. You have before you the recommendations from the committees on preschool and school age special education. Any questions?
Hearing none, I ask for a motion to accept the special education placements. First is Tom, second is Jason. All in favor? It is unanimous, 4 in favor. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Mylon. And now I invite Mrs. Galia back up for our staffing recommendations.
Yes, you have in front of you tonight the staffing agenda. Would like to point out the retirements with appreciation. Allison Felt with 10 years of service, Phyllis Genovese with 17 years of service, Laura Hinman with 22 years, and Jessica McCarthy with 18 years, with a total of 67 years to the district.
Thank you. You're welcome. With that, can I have a motion to accept the staffing recommendations? First is Gusta, second is Jason. Any comments? I want to add, I want to thank Allison, Phyllis, Laura, and Jessica, and also again, thank you, Mr. Simpkins, for that really beautiful, the statements that you made on behalf of Laura. And for their many years of service, they'll always be part of our family wherever they go, and we wish them all the best. I wish them all the best as they move on from Shen. So thank you. All in favor? It is all 4 in favor. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The motion passes. And again, with that, we also, included in that was also the tenure recommendation, which we already voted on. But again, thank you for staying for the full meeting as well.
Of course.
So we, with that, we move for the second reading.
If there are questions?
Okay. And so can I have a motion to approve the policies and procedures for the second reading? First is Tom, second is Gusta. Any comments? They're awesome. All in favor? It is unanimous. Thank you. Okay, so this is, we're gonna move into our second public comment time. So if there's anyone from the public that would like to make a comment, now's the time. Seeing no one, stand up and come forward. We'll close the second public comment period, and we're gonna move into the for good of the order. And this is the opportunity for the board members to discuss district matters or just to give a shout out. Does anybody have something they want to share? No? All right, so the next item up is the board policy review schedule. And again, I mentioned that our next meeting is on the 7th, and the presentation schedule for the items that we cover in our meetings. And so with that, can I have a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting?
It's gonna be us raising our hands.
First is Jason, second is
the night off.
And any comments?
Sometimes I'm a little too eager, you know, I gotta tone it down sometimes.
All in favor? All right, it is unanimous. The meeting's adjourned. Thank you. Everyone drive safe.
Thanks.
And if everyone could also turn off their mics, thank you. All right.
Appreciate it, thank you.